Chapter 1. There's Something About Success. Labor Day weekend is one of the biggest movie-going weekends of the year. Thousands of people flock to the cool darkness of the theater to munch popcorn and enter the world of their favorite stars. Because it is the last unofficial weekend of the summer movie season, many movie companies wait until early September to release the films that they hope will make the biggest impact at the box office. The many movies released the Friday before Labor Day are usually in stiff competition with one another for the coveted #1 spot. But something unusual happened that first weekend of September in 1998. The #1 movie at the box office was a film that had been out for 7 weeks, an almost unheard-of occurrence. But even more surprising was the fact that it had never been #1 previously, although it had made a significant amount of money. There's Something About Mary was a word-of-mouth movie that had become one of the summer's biggest hits. People magazine called it raunchy, sweet, and funny at the same time, always a winning combo. Both praised and ridiculed for its brand of over-the-top humor, the film had people talking, and one of their favorite subjects was the film's star, Cameron Diaz. Although she was not an unfamiliar face in Hollywood, this was Diaz's first leading lady role. Judging from the laughter that rang in the theaters every night, she had won over her audience with her acting ability and comic timing. It was a goal that Cameron had been working on since her first on-screen appearance in 1994's The Mask. As a former model, Diaz was constantly proving her abilities to people who did not believe that she had the smarts or the savvy to make it in the movies. Being cast as Mary in There's Something About Mary gave her career that big boost it needed to make her hot in Hollywood. Before There's Something About Mary was even released, Entertainment Weekly, EW, named Diaz their It Girl of 1998. The reason? Her unwillingness not to be just part of the scenery and rely on her staggering good looks, as so many models turned movie stars had done before her, even if it meant humiliating herself. In There's Something About Mary, Diaz bravely endures the sickest, most side-splitting sight gag since director John Waters went mainstream, wrote EW. While playing the perfect woman in the movie, Cameron made sure that a sense of humor was added to the list of desirable attributes, in addition to beauty and intelligence. The plot of There's Something About Mary revolves around 4 men and their obsession with the beguiling Mary Jensen. As a high school senior in Rhode Island, Ted Stroman, played by Ben Stiller, threw caution to the wind and invited Mary to the senior prom. Although she agreed to be his date, they never made it to the dance that night. Ted suffered a humiliating accident in the Jensen's bathroom. Now, more than 12 years later, Ted still cannot get Mary out of his mind. He wants to reunite, or at least know how she's doing. All he knows is that she moved to Miami, Florida, with her family after graduation. At the insistence of his best friend, Dom, played by Chris Elliott, Ted hires private detective Pat Healy, Matt Dillon, to track her down. But when Pat does find Mary, he finds himself falling for her. Mary is just as beautiful as she was at 17, and is now a successful doctor who selflessly donates her time to help the handicapped. Healy lies to Ted, telling him that Mary is an overweight mother of 4 children who has never married. Healy then moves to Miami and pretends to be the man of Mary's dreams. He has learned what she wants in a relationship by having listened in on a conversation between Mary and her girlfriends while working for Ted as a detective. Despite the less than appealing picture Healy painted of his high school sweetheart, Ted decides to go to Florida and see Mary himself. He finds out that Healy lied to him, which only adds to his determination to win back.